The one thing that sets you apart from a lot of other people is consistency and getting out your head and that feeling of being perceived. I have dealt with this feeling of being perceived a lot of my life, and I have just began getting comfortable with saying it doesn't matter what other people think, because at the end of the day, they're not paying me, they're not sleeping in my bed next to me at night, and they're not the ones that are setting up my life or contributing in any way that is necessary. So I had to get out my head and show up for myself, for my future self, even if I didn't feel confident as at where I was at now or where I'm at now. It's important to keep showing up as the person that I want to be. There's something so powerful in that. You're not going to just wake up one day and get the opportunity, and if you do, are you going to be prepared for that opportunity that is given to you? So constantly developing yourself and preparing yourself before you get these opportunities, before you get these positions, is so important so that you can thrive when that opportunity presents itself. Whether it's the fear of judgment, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of rejection, these fears can totally sabotage your dreams, because there's always going to be somebody that will say something negative, that will see you on the internet and say, she's still doing this or she's still doing that. But if you stay consistent with yourself, things take time. Things take consistency. Things take confidence. Don't just show up halfway. Show up fully. Show up fully, even when you feel like you are not important enough or deserving enough. Show up fully and keep replaying that message in your mind that you are, so that eventually when the opportunity, when the position comes, that everything will align perfectly. I started to realize that I have to have my own best interest because other people have theirs. So I have to show up for myself. I have to stand up for myself. I can't wait on other people to offer, to do, to show up for me. It all starts with how I treat myself and how confident, and even in that fear and confidence can both exist together. You can be scared and do it anyway. And my mom has always been such a proponent of pushing me into things of just do it anyway, do it anyway. And one of my mom's sayings was, nobody's losing sleep over you making that decision, over you doing that thing. They might say something for a second, but if they're ruminating and spending their life worried about that decision that you made, then that's more of a them problem. And most people aren't doing that because they have their own things to worry about. So get past that second of being perceived, even if it's just you being on somebody's timeline for 1 minute. Get past that second of being perceived so that you can receive greater for your life. Even if it's you feeling embarrassment for asking for a promotion, and what would your boss say? No, you need to be here longer. Okay, how long? What does that look like? What am I lacking? Get clear, because everybody has their own best interest. And not saying that you should be selfish and vengeful and vicious, but you should be considerate of what you need for your life and not be ashamed about what that looks like and what you need to ask for. When we hold back, we're prioritizing the comfort of other people over ourselves. And nobody is giving that much energy and time and thought into you being audacious and bold, okay? If you're going to show up and be bold, most people move on and life consumes them in their head of things that they have to do. So push past that feeling of being bold. Push past that feeling of fear. Every time you stop yourself from going after something, you're robbing yourself of the potential in your life. You're robbing yourself of a chance to grow. And one way that you can get past this fear of being perceived and misunderstood is understanding what you want in your life and the results. Instead of focusing on being perceived, focus on what you're trying to achieve. The me that is successful, the me that is audacious, the me that is confident and successful and thriving in life has to start somewhere. It has to start with something. It has to start with chipping away at that fear of what other people think, of what other people are perceiving me as. It starts with pushing past that. And as long as you're consistent in what you want to do, the results will come. Be consistent, be realistic, readjust, ask people who have done it before what it takes. Don't be affected by people judging you when they're not even in a position that you want in life. People judging you that are not thriving, they're not successful, they're not happy or peaceful or devoted or in their word and having a relationship with God. If people are depressed and pessimistic and isolated spiritually, are those the people that really matter about what you're trying to achieve? Because they have their own struggles. They don't even understand what they want for themselves. I guarantee you that the people that are successful, that are doing it, are desperate enough and they've pushed past that fear enough to really show up and take what is theirs. And that is going to be me all the rest of my life. If 2025 might not be the year where things manifest and happen and grow, or well, they will grow, but it might not be the year where everything is here. But I am going to keep chipping away. I am going to keep making those steps. You know, we always say 2025, 2024, 2023. This year is my year. And you know what? It can be and it will be, and you can chip away. I don't believe that everything is going to just fall out the sky and happen at once, but I would rather work toward a goal and keep pushing myself towards success than stay stagnant. So it's just something to think about. Have a great life because you can.